Hi everybody, it's Andrea, aka Violet Kitty 411, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who has been engaging with comments, likes, and subscribing. You know I do appreciate it so much as we enjoy the best game in the Sims franchise together, The Sims 2. So we are back in the building side of Old Town for another family redesign, and today we're going to be working with one of the families that is downloadable from the old Sims website. But before we do, I'd like to real quickly address the poll that I put on my community tab about if anyone would like to see Sims 1 content. And actually there was a pretty good response that a lot of people would like to see builds or gameplay or not at all. And actually, the most interest was actually for gameplay strategies, and I do intend to do that, but I do have to work out the logistics because my screen recorder does not play well with The Sims, so I need to figure it out. So let's get on with our build today. So today's family, of course, being one of the downloadables, is up here on Sim Lane, and it's the Maximus family at 4 Sim Lane. When Jimmy and Zaghawa met, no one thought that they would hook up, let alone get married. With his history and her background, is there love enough to make it work? So here's Jimmy, whom you can see is a criminal mastermind, which reflects on his TS1 self. He is a Leo. Let's see, the words male chauvinist pig come to mind. Well, Jimmy liked to use people, or rather he didn't necessarily like to use people, it was just something he did all the time. A very emotionless, insensitive person, he would lead the ladies' hearts astray with compliments and mild flirting when he wanted something from them. He didn't care which one of them got hurt, as he saw them only as stepping stones. That is until he met his match in Princess Zaghawa, and I do have him as a fortune sim. And here we have Princess Zaghawa, whom I cheated enough to actually give her a college graduation, and she does actually even have all the memories for it. I must have done those in SimPE because I'm sure I did not play, or if I did, I played her using the college clock, because that's amazing if you don't have that. Anyway, so let's go ahead and check out her bio. Now, one thing is Princess Zaghawa, we will say this is the only Maxis created character who is supposed to be of royal lineage. Born with a silver spoon in her mouth, Princess Zaghawa was raised in a world of comfort and leisure, but her wild heart and free spirit could not be tamed by the mediocre aristocrats that craved her hand in marriage. Following her heart and talent led her to the top of the opera world, but it wasn't until she met the amazing MAHUIZOH Jamie Maximus that she knew true love. She is also a family sim. She is a Pisces, most likely a tinkerer. He is a Leo, and I'm guessing he's probably a sports enthusiast, but he might be a fitness enthusiast. So I have to check that out in SimPE before I do this. Now let's take a look at their house. Now this house is a bit odd. It actually is larger all the way around on the top floor than it is on the bottom floor, which is okay. And in TS4, I actually converted a large portion, this area of the top floor, to be like a in-home spa, because I felt if anyone deserved an in-home spa, it would be somebody who was royal by birth. I also gave it better living quarters over here, but I also traded some living quarters down here, created some better living quarters, better use of space. And I'll probably use a lot of what I did for TS4 over here, so we will see. And of course there are a lot of gifts with purchases because I played this, and so we will be doing the same, starting with 1.5 and working our way up for their multiplier. All right, so we do have a 50% chance of it being 1.5. Let's see what the Winds of Fate have for them. We're sticking with 1.5. That basically puts us at keeping it pretty much the same as far as total value. So let's go see what we've got. So with the value of their home being $90,947 and them having $1810 in the bank multiplied by 1.5, that gives us a budget of $139,135. 5. So that's what we're working with. Let's go ahead and put the gifts with purchases in their inventories and evict them. Okay, and I must have actually played Princess Zaghawa because she has a sheepskin diploma and I don't know how to cheat that. So I clearly played her, but just sped her through college. So before I evict them, I'll kind of show you what this is. Over here, this is clearly meant to be Jimmy's lair, and the rest of the main level is primarily for entertainment for Jimmy and Princess Zaghawa. Up here, it is kind of spa-based, which I'm sure was a lot of what inspired me to do a full-blown spa in this area. We've got the kitchen over here and a very large bedroom. So yes, it's awkward. We've got actually a little powder room as well as a full bathroom. And over here, originally, according to the TS1 plans, this would have been more like kind of like locker rooms for the spa area. So there was definitely a driving force as to why I turned that into a spa area in The Sims 4, and honestly I kind of liked it, so we're gonna keep that thought in mind as much as I can. Down here we have a sunken pool, and right here we've got a little area to enjoy maybe an afternoon book, and this area here, never figured out exactly what that was meant to be. So let's go ahead and get them evicted. Okay, so now that they're evicted, they have the funds of $139,135. Let's go ahead and take a look at the house and start redesigning. So in true TS1 fashion, there are multiple nonsensical entrances to this home, making it ill-defined, and I will be changing that. I'm actually going to raise this gallery here all the way up to the level of foundation, so that's all the way around instead of all of these little staircases. That way this whole gallery area is going to be more usable. I'll probably decrease the size of this moat, and in a similar fashion, I'm going to eliminate this sunken pool that goes along with it and create a better overall sense of landscaping. So we're going to go ahead and do that right away. Now, what I did with The Sims 4 was I had waterfalls working all the way around, which just honestly, it's totally gorgeous, and I absolutely love playing this house in The Sims 4. Not sure how I'm going to decorate it for The Sims 2, but let's get started on the exterior. So by increasing the foundation 2 tiles all the way around and also decreasing this moat to just 1 tile and raising up the sunken pool, which actually makes it a bit bigger, and adding some additional greenery, we went from 55,000 for the shell to 43,000 for the shell. So yeah, we're saving 12,000 on that, which gives us a little bit more room to work with as far as designing. So let's go ahead with the interior. So let's create the tabula rasa, as you know I love to do whenever I design. That way I'm not being influenced by somebody else's design choices, be they good, bad, or indifferent. Usually bad, as we know. So it is what it is. So on the ground level, we're going to go ahead and pull both of our staircases in this far. I am going to enclose this staircase, and we will put it behind a locked door, so it will be available for only family members. So over here we will have a kitchen with an eating space, and then back here we're going to have Jimmy's lair and a ground floor bathroom. Now I brought all of our arches and doorways into the center here so we can use them since they're already depreciated. Since I did the spa for the Sims 4 version of this house, I really did like it, so we're going to go ahead and continue in that same vein. Now I did that 3x4 in the Sims 4, right like that, but the sauna in Sims 3 is actually 3x3, so I think I will go ahead and do maybe a little different, not sure, but it's going to be either 3x4 or 3x3 or any combination thereof. But right here we're going to go ahead and put another bathroom, and over here this will be available for any guests, as will this, but this is the private living quarters, which will only be for family members. So this will be a walk-in closet off of the master bath, which will look right like this. We'll get rid of that right there. So that's the master bath. This is the master bedroom. And this is the second bedroom. Hall bath here, and the smallest bedroom right here. So all this will be locked off. This will be a main living area. Now in the Sims 4, this was a yoga studio. Not sure what I'm going to do with it, but definitely have this. And this is going to be the gym. Kind of in keeping with what Maxis originally did for the Maximus family. And question, if you have more than one Maximus, are they Maximi? That kind of makes sense to me. So now let's look at the finished number 4 Sim Lane. As you know, I worked significantly on the exterior, including the curb appeal. So added these castaway blooms in front to make it very inviting. Also, there's pink because Princess Zaghawa is a pink girly. I decreased the moat around the house to only 1 tile wide, so it still gives the effect, but just is a bit cleaner. Raised the sunken pool to street level, so it is much more accessible and usable. In the backyard, what was once a little sitting area is now a Zen garden, ideal for meditation, and overlooks the Goth house. And this undefined outbuilding at the corner of the lot is now a shrine for an ancestor of Princess Zaghawa's. Now, the original TS1 version, as well as my tile for tile copy, were largely Eastern Asian inspired. So I definitely used that as my inspiration, but I went for a more modern take on Asian, which would be very clean lines, a lot of the light beach as we enter the front entryway. We have a nice sitting area over here. To the left, we have a nice place for Princess Zaghawa and Jimmy to have an aperitif after dinner, or when they get home from crime, entertainment, whatever they do. As we move forward through the space, we have our entertainment area for TV, gaming, and some music. And Jimmy's hobby actually is music and dance. Now we enter a large kitchen with an eating space, but the kitchen area is actually divided. Off of the eating space, we do have access to the pool. I chose a bit more rustic for the kitchen because it seemed that was really calling to me. Now off of the entrance area, we have 2 doors, actually 3 doors, as well as a staircase. So we're going to go down this first little hallway and take the door to our left, and we get the ground level bathroom with a walk-in closet. The door at the end of the little hallway leads us into Jimmy's lair. The overall layout of the house is pretty much the same, but I definitely chose to use the space more wisely. So we get the better definition of the space. Now we will go up the stairs and enter into the spa area. We've got our physical fitness equipment with beautiful views. A ballet bar over here for Jimmy. I hung the ballet shoes from the bar. In this little alcove over here, we have a peacock reminding us to be proud. There are 2 little massage rooms, as well as a recolored sauna. There's the second massage room. Now as we turn the corner, we enter into our yoga studio, which can be, of course, used for yoga, Tai Chi, and meditation. And this is the room which, of course, clings to that Asian aesthetic the most. Now we can go through this door, which can be locked against guests, and we enter into a long hallway, off of which there are 4 rooms. So 2 rooms in front of us, 1 to the right, and then 1 that we go backwards towards. So we'll go through this one first, and we have the nursery because Zaghawa is ready for a baby. Adjacent to the nursery is a 3/4 bath with a walk-in shower and a dual vanity. And the next room past that is either a youth room or a guest bedroom, depending on how one chooses to use it. And it is the only one where there is a wall closet for easy woohoo. That's the #1 reason. This is the first time I have actually placed the Murphy bed, so use at your own risk. And back out into the hall, we can enter Princess and Jimmy's room, which has more of that Asian aesthetic, and pink because she is my pink loving girly. A memoir from their wedding. And their private bathroom with dual sink, walk-in shower, alcove for the tub, as well as an alcove for the toilet over here. And at the opposite end of the bathroom is a walk-in closet. And as we exit the master, we can go down a flight of stairs, which puts us back out into the entryway. And a bonus, behind this steel wall in Jimmy's lair, they should be able to go downstairs, and we will double check. So now let's go ahead and give it a little bit of play testing. I updated Princess's wardrobe off camera. I left Jimmy's just as it was because there was no need. So they have 139,135, and the build comes in at 137,272. So they're just shy of 2,000, which is about where they started. So it's a pretty comparable build to what they had to begin with. Okay, and they're being very romantic right away. That's wonderful for them. Thanks to E Street Angel for another mod suggestion. I have a mod that activates all young adult and adult clothes for young adult, adult, and elder. So I'm very excited about that. And this is actually a dress that was in the base game hidden files that became active with that mod, and since it's pretty exotic, I just felt it was a really good choice for her and added the tiara because it just seemed appropriate for her. I definitely played her through university, but I did take away her 2 extra want slots. And probably at this point, because she's supposed to be an opera singer, I would suggest getting her into the music career as opposed to the entertainment career where I currently have her. And I completely misread his personality earlier. I was thinking that this was his active rating. It's his outgoing, which is why that makes more sense for him to be a music lover. Now, first things first, while Princess checks out the toilet, sure enough, Jimmy can make it into the basement. So yes, you can actually pile stairs on top of one another. I've done it before, but just wanted to prove that you can do it. Looks a bit weird, but they can use them. And why don't you get out of your work clothes there, Jimmy? Because, oh, you're definitely taking the long way around. I love that for you. That's fine. And why don't you use the toilet while Princess, why don't you should actually have a couple, only one cooking skill. Okay, that's fine. Your Majesty, Your Highness, I guess, technically. There we go. Discover your hobby. And he's going to be lecturing her. That's great. Lecture your wife. She's too good for you. Why don't you dance the smussle, Jimmy? And now you've discovered your own love. And why don't you get a little flirt in before you have to go to work? That covers up that bad having been lectured over breaking the dishwasher. I think that as quick as this is, this was probably going to work very nicely for them. The biggest thing was discovering that they can indeed go downstairs. So don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I will see you soon in the pixelated world, and that's all I have to say. BK out.